so today's community conversation was just not about how you transition, into phase 2 for COVID-19, but understanding that whether it's good or bad, whether you say yes or no, whether you go or you stay still, it causes a ripple effect in your life. Welcome to Coffee and Community Conversations with PKO. I am so excited to be here with you today. It is going to be exciting to talk to you guys about economics and entrepreneurship. I believe that there is an opportunity here for you to build and for you to grow, for not just for you to build a business, but to build legacy, because there is a difference. Come on, somebody. There is a difference in just building a business and building legacy. Legacy is what's left to some in a will. It's what's left behind. I'm not just building for today to buy nice things. I'm building for my kids and my kids' kids and their kids' kids. It's legacy. If you are here, I want you to drop your name. I see Teresa's in the house. I see Kim's in the house. I see Mook is in the house. I see Shantita here. Carlette is here. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you could do me a favor, if you could share this with somebody, that would be dynamic. If you could share this and say, look, I need you to join in right now. I need you to join in because we're talking economics and entrepreneurship. If you was here last week, you know that I invited Tish Bell on and she lit this stream on fire. She activated in your finances. She activated, glory to God, in your life in areas that they may have been lacked, but it's no longer limited. And today we're going to speak directly to economics and entrepreneurship. I'm going to give you some practical tools because that's what we do, right? And these practical tools is going to help you grow, is going to help you build. And so if you know an entrepreneur, I want you to tag them. I want you to tag an entrepreneur. I want you to tag them in. Remember last week we talked about the tag in where when there were wrestling at WWF, we would see a tag team fight against another tag team, and when one person was tired, they would tag the other one in so that they can come in and take over the fight. I want you to tag in an entrepreneur. This is not just for you. This is for other people as well. This is not just for you. This is for somebody who wants to build. And what we don't realize is that when we hold on to information, we harbor opportunity for people who may have otherwise, have grown, because the Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And so if you don't know, you can't grow. That was good. Somebody needs to hashtag that already. If you don't know, you can't grow, right? If you don't know, you can't go to new levels, right? And to be led into new places. If you don't know, if you lack the information that you need in order to forge forward, it'll keep you confined to where you are. And so today, I'm going to give you guys some tips. I'm going to give you guys some strategy. And guess what? I'm dropping money in your Cash App again. And I'm not just doing that. I'm dropping a gift card on a new local business that's just opened by a African-American family. And I want to support them. And so we're not just in the business of having conversations. We're not just in the business of building, but we're in the business of blessing. Come on, somebody. Something happens when you send your seed on assignments. Something happens when you sow into the ground. Something happens when you plant on good ground, right? And you watch it grow, you watch it bloom. And once it bloom, it's not just for that season, but it's recurring. It comes back based on seasons. And so you may be experiencing a season of lack, but I want you to be reminded of the seeds that's already in the ground. They're going to go and then they're going to grow. Come on, somebody. That was good. And so look, let's just jump right in and talk about our topic today about building business and building blocks, right? And how do we do that? So look, guys, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and there's some things that you need to know. Our blocks are different than the blocks in Wilmington, North Carolina. And so our blocks are concrete blocks. And, we have these high dreams when we're in Brooklyn of going and growing, and we see city lights, and it inspires us, to follow after our dreams. And today, on this live, I want to encourage you to follow after your dream. I want to encourage you to move forward. And so before I even start, if you are a business owner, drop your business name name right there in the comment area. Come on, I want you to drop your business name. I want you to drop your business name, and we're going to begin to make bold declarations over your business name. I want you to drop it. Drop your business name right now. We want to know about it. We want to know who you are, what you represent, and what you're building. Y'all see how I did this today? How I matched my blue cup with the blue background? Let me shout out my husband for helping me get right. What's your business name? I'm going to throw it on the screen. I want to see business names. What's your business name? What do you have? What do you possess in your hand? Rochelle just posted AKIR production. She posted, I want y'all to support her. Listen, drop your business name, because we want to know who you are. We want to know how we can support you. We want to know how we can put some seed in your ground. Listen, after the live last week, I jumped in and joined Tish Bell's class. And listen, I've been financially activated myself. I was already messing with the moolah, but let me tell you something. When you get some teaching from somebody who's an expert in money, it does something on the inside of you when you understand the process of your seed. Glory to God. And so listen, guys, let's jump right in and talk about building business. If you haven't dropped your business name, I want you to go ahead and do it. And so look, I'm going to teach you today and provide some practical tools. I want you to stay with me, but we can't start without the community kickoff question. The community kickoff question comes from a young lady in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she asked me to ask you, and I want you to help me answer it. Why don't African Americans build businesses in their communities, but other races do? That was a big question right there. Why do African Americans not build business in their community, but other races do? I mean, let's talk about it. We got a whole minute. Why do other races, right, and cultures come in and build in the communities that's typically filled with African Americans? That's who resides there in the demographics, and we don't. Why don't we own beauty supply stores? Why don't we own corner stores? Why don't we own some of the things in our community where we spend our dollars? I mean, I want you to ask. I want some answers. Rochelle said, we do it because we don't know the power we possess. That's right. We don't know the power that we possess. Teresa said, that's a good question. I need to know why we have all these people that's skilled in cosmetology, but don't nobody own a beauty store. Is it also because, there's a lack of support from the community that you live in? That's why you don't build there? Is that also a part of the community kickoff question? Why don't we build in our communities? We're going to take Rochelle's answer and keep that on the screen, because we don't know the power that we possess. And today I want to talk to you about that power. Today I want to talk to you about what you have in your hand and in your heart, because there's something in you that you can use to forge forward to help grow and groom the community that you live in. And it's okay to start from the ground level, right? Because if you start on the ground level, you can be elevated to the God level. And God level doesn't mean that you go up. It can just mean that you've been expanded, because Jabez asked for expansion of his territory. He may not have gone up in heights, but God stretched his capacity so that he could impact more, so that he can hold more. And so wherever you are, you can ask to grow and be groomed. She said, we need to have a millionaire mentality. You better go ahead and speak. Carlette said, it's because of money. It is because of money, but we spend our money. What if we rally together to build something and to create? We choose not to. And that's why today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to build a legacy and build blocks. And those blocks are what other people can use so that they can grow and they can go, right? If you did it and you were able to build something, then you have a blueprint that you can share with other people so that they can also build as well. What have you done that you've seen that was successful that you can share with somebody so that they can also build and be successful too? Each one, teach one. Teresa said, work together instead of trying to step on the next person. You got that right. So look, if you're just joining, my name is Pastor Kalila Lokanola, and this is Coffee and Community Conversations, where we have real raw conversation related to what's happening in the community that we live in and abroad. We are streaming both on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're catching the replay, I want to thank you for joining today. So look, how do you build legacy? I'm going to jump in. You plan for the future when you are building the foundation. Listen to what I'm telling you. A legacy is what's left behind, right? It's what's left behind in a will. Typically, it's what you built that can be passed on. A lot of organizations or small business owners are building, and they pass on their restaurants, they pass on their clothing stores, they pass on the things that they built to their kids. That's building legacy. I have something that you can use to help sustain you as you move forward, because we'll find businesses that have been passed down through generations and generations and generations. Everybody becomes part of the family business, and it's okay. When you build a family business, you become invested in it. There's McDonald's that are owned by individuals, different individuals and families all over the United States. If you own a McDonald's, your kids are coming to work at McDonald's, and then eventually they'll take over those McDonald's when you age. So building a legacy is building something that you can pass on and something that you can leave behind. And so if you want to build legacy, you have to plan for your future when you're building the foundation. That means you have to plan ahead. You can't just go in and throw something together and think that it's going to work. You have to be strategic. You have to be systematic, right? And you have to be prayed up, because there's some things that you just shouldn't put your hand to and shouldn't put your heart in unless God gives you the release to move forward in. Number two, create a succession plan for continued success. Once you decide to build something, how can it continuously succeed? What can you do to forge it forward? What can you do to make sure that it's not hindered by things like COVID-19? It's not hindered by pandemics and protests or specific people. But because you put a plan in place for yourself and for what you're building, you understand that the succession plan for it will continue the success. It won't be stopped. You put together a plan A and potentially a plan B. Stay with me. Number three, make it run while you're running someplace else. Listen, make it run. That means that we have to build businesses, and we don't always have to be working in the business. When you're working in the business, you're not an owner, right? You're self-employed. There's a difference in the language. When you're working your business, you are self-employed. That means that I'm running this thing on a daily basis, because I don't have anybody in place. So I want you to build your business so that it can run on its own, and then you can run someplace else. You can take this white space and you continue to create. Next, I need you to look beyond your cousins and comrades. Stop asking your family for money and for feelings. Stop going to them thinking that they're your saving grace. Stop thinking that your families are the only ones that can invest in you and what you do. Oftentimes, your families are the people I tell you not to go to, right? Because when you ask family members for something, they believe that they have a vested interest in what you're building, and they try to take ownership of it, and that it can cause an extreme divide. If you ever done something with your friends, right, or with a family member, you know that there's arguments that takes place, and sometimes it doesn't end well. Listen, I tried to build a business with a young lady, and I knew it wasn't going to work early on, but I was put in an awkward situation, so I said yes anyway. It did not end right at all. And when I say it did not end right, when we decided to divide, she came and took doorknobs. She took patches that was over the electrical circuits out of the space that we used. It was terrible. Her husband and my husband had been friends for a long time, and they were no longer friends, all because it didn't work out. I didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. It just wasn't a good fit. And sometimes we try to force things together with our cousins and our comrades. And what happened is that it wasn't supposed to be a connection. It was just supposed to be a motivational conversation. And we tried to build a business through the conversation that we had. It doesn't work. So look beyond your cousins and your comrades when you're building a business. I need you to look outside of that. There are grants. There is funding available for entrepreneurs, whether you are a woman, whether you are a minority, whether you are a veteran. There is funding available for you to help you build your legacy and build blocks so that you can build your business. So stop looking at your cousins and comrades, right? Because it's not going to work. Next. Purpose and profit can coexist. Don't leave your purpose behind because you don't believe you can make a profit from it. Your purpose and profit can coexist. There's companies all over the United States called conscious companies or sustainable brands or impact organizations These are organizations who make money, but they also make impact. So it's possible to build a business and build a legacy where you're producing a profit and you're doing it on purpose. Listen to what I'm telling you today. This is good. I don't know why we only have 11 people, but everybody needs to know that you can build a business and you can build legacy at the same time. You can have a profit and you can walk in purpose. Glory to God. You can do all those things at the same time, right? You just have to create a plan in place so that you understand the business operation and you understand the impact of the operation. And then once you understand those two, you understand that the profit to help continue to build on the purpose. Are you still with me today? If you're still with me, say, I'm here. Say, I'm here. If you understand that purpose and profit can coexist, somebody say, I can impact somebody and I can create funding so that I'll be able to invest in somebody else. Somebody say, I can do something that's purposeful and it can be profitable, right? You can do both. Tanny said, producing a profit and a legacy at the same time. That's right. You can do both. You can produce a purpose and profit. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something, and some of the church people that's watching might not want to watch me anymore. There's profit in your pain. Listen to what I said. There's profit in your pain. There's some things that you went through that you can write stories about, that you can write books about, that you can share with people on platforms and in stages where people will compensate you for. There is profit in your pain. Don't let these folks tell you that your story is just to be held. I'm trying to fix this, y'all. That your story is just to be held to yourself. That your story is just to be put under the cover. Your story is for main platforms and center stages. Come on, somebody. Your testimony will set people free, but it'll also help you build on your finances. You can write a book about your story. You can get on the platform and share your pain. It'll push people in purpose, and listen, you'll walk away with a paycheck and a profit. And it's okay for the people of God to make profit. It's okay for the people of God to receive money, to receive gifts, to receive somebody sowing into them. It's okay. Don't let people tell you that money is wrong. The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil, not money. It's what you do when you get it. Come on, somebody. This is good right now. So your purpose and your profit can coexist. There is profit in your pain. Somebody say that I'm about to be compensated for what I went through. I need y'all to write that. Say, I am about to be compensated for what I went through. Some of the situations you face, you're going to be compensated for. I am about to be compensated for what I went through. Job got double for his trouble. God may want to give you triple for what you went through, right? There is purpose in your pain. There is something that you can pull from because of what was pulled out of you. I'm speaking and teaching to you good today. And look, this is why, because, you're being molded for a mandate. Your mandate is not just about ministry, y'all. It's also about marketplace. I am teaching you so good today. It's also about marketplace. We spend so much time thinking that the only place we are called to serve is in the church. But God said, I'm not just calling you to the ministry. I'm also calling you to the marketplace. There's some things that you have to do outside the building. It's not the building, it's the people. There's some people that you have to connect to by purpose. There's some people you have to connect to on platforms. There's some businesses that you have to build that people are already waiting for right now. They've been asking for it. They've been praying for it. They've been seeking it. And so you have to ask yourself, where am I being molded to go? Where am I being molded to go? You can teach a lesson. Kayla is up here and she makes masks. You're being molded for your mandate. We need masks because of this COVID-19 environment. There's some things that you can shape, that you can profit from. I don't know what she's experiencing in her life right now, but she may be producing this business in the midst of pain. There's profit in it. There's position in it. There's promise in it. You're being molded for your mandate. It's not just ministry. It's also marketplace. God is not just calling you to hold pews, calling you to sing on stages, calling you to usher and greet. Come on, somebody. He's calling you to go in the hood. He's calling you to go into the cities, to go to byways and highways, into the marketplace to impact people. Marketplace ministry. just joined in, we're talking today about building business, building legacy, and building blocks, right? And so what do you do? That's next. How do you go into the situation where you begin to build a business? Look, add a name to your now and your next. What are you calling what you're building? This is good. What are you calling what you're building? You'll need to write this down. What are you calling what you're building? Add a name to your now and your next. In the Bible, your name was central to purpose and character. And so add a name to your now and your next. What do you call your business? What do you call your situation? What do you call Kukalila jumping online on Saturday morning? I call it coffee and community conversation with PKO. What do you call what you do on Monday night? I call it brave lessons. What do you call it? Put a name to your now and your next. What are you calling it? What are you putting next to it? Because look, I said it. Your name was central to purpose and character in the Bible. And so whatever you're calling, what you're building is going to be central to the purpose of it and the character of it. Listen, I'm teaching you how to build real good today. I said whatever you call your now and your next, whatever you're building your business, right? It's central to purpose and character. UPS, United Postal Service. We know that they're responsible for the mail. FedEx, Federal Express. We know what they mean. If you look at the FedEx logo, you'll see that there's an arrow embedded in it, right? And it's done secretly. You have to pay attention to the messages within the messages. Dunkin' Donuts. We understand that the name is central to purpose and character. It's for donuts, but it's also for the round holes that you can dunk. Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? It's about chicken. It's about the kernel. Where did he start it? Did he start in Kentucky? Is that his name? Right? What is it? We understand the name is central to purpose and character. Add a name to your now and to your next. What do you call it? You know? Next block. Write the vision and make it plain. This is your business plan. You have to write down this information. You can't just freestyle it and think that it's going to happen. You have to write down the information that you need pertaining to what you just called out by name. What are you going to do? How are you going to sell it? How is it going to go from point A to point B? How are you going to structure it so that you can get funding, you can get financing, right? And you can find people and they can lead you to a place of financial, not just responsibility, but freedom. Write the vision and make it plain. You can simplify it with a one-page business plan. This is what I call it. This is what it's going to do. This is who it's for. This is what I'm going to sell. This is how I'm going to make money. This is where I'm going to, keep it. This is what I'm going to do next. You can create a business plan on one page with 5 questions. Don't let these people tell you need a 30-page business plan. You can put it on one page and lay hands on it and pray and ask God to move on behalf of what you just talked to, what you just spoke into the atmosphere, what he just put in your spirit. Next. The funds that you make from what you build is to help you forge forward. It's not for you to, just go out and shop and take cool photo shoots, even though that's part of the branding plan. The funds is to forge forward, but how do you get funds to forge forward if you're limited, right? Right now with what's in your hands. Listen, I got you covered. What if I told you that there's hundreds of organizations who wants to allocate funds to women, allocate funds to African Americans, allocate funds to veterans or to people from different races, backgrounds and cultures? There is an army of people that want to invest in your idea and in you, so the funds to forge forward is available, but you have to have a name to your now and your next. What are you calling it? And you have to have a business plan, even if it's one page, because once you have those things in place, people that want to give you funds to forge forward know that you're serious and know that you're not just freestyling, but you put a plan in place for people, for platform, for profit, and for purpose. That was so good. That was so good. That was so good. And so what do you do to get started? I'm happy you asked. You need a DBA, a doing business as certificate. You can get that from your local register of deeds. You can go down there and pay under $20 and say, Christy Washington is doing business as, Jewelry R Us, whatever that is, whatever you want to call it. And so you need a DBA, a doing business as certificate. It's under $20. Once you get your DBA and you know that the name that you are calling your now and your next is available, you need to jump online and go to some place like GoDaddy or Yahoo Domains and find the domain name, right? I would actually look for the domain name first before I registered the name, right? Because I want to make sure that nobody else is going to capitalize on what I'm calling what God put in my hand. You know, if you create a business and you call it I Make Jewelry and you register that domain name and then you go online, you register that DBA and you go online and somebody else has that domain name, your customers are going to be confused, right? And they're going to go to that party and not you because you don't own the domain name. So I would get the domain name first for your now and your next, and then I would go register the name and get a doing business as a certificate if you're going to be a sole proprietor. That means it's just you in the business, right? There's liability on you and your name. It's attached to your social security number. You're responsible for filing taxes on a quarterly basis, or for some of you who want to hold out for the whole year, you're paying by the year, but you're responsible for it. Or you can upgrade and register with the state. You can get an LLC, you can do an S Corp, you can get a B Corp, which is part profit, part purpose, nonprofit. You can get a nonprofit organization and register for your 501c3. You can do all of these things. And if you just want to get started, you can just get your domain name online so you have the website and then get your DBA and it's just you. You can operate as a sole proprietor. Now, if you're going to sell items, right, that are actually products, you have to get a privilege license and your local municipality, the city or the county. And so you do that, you get your EIN, and then look, go get your bank account because you got to have some place for those funds to go. And there's nothing like somebody wanting to pay you with the check and you can't take it. I've been there. I had somebody offer to donate money to me on a regular basis. This was recently, listen, and I didn't have a business for ministry because I show up as Pastor Kalila Alokanola and I'm just doing what I believe God called me to do. She's like, look, I want to sow into your ministry. Where do I write the check to? I was like, write the check to me. She said, huh? And I said, huh? I wouldn't write the check to me. I need to know the funds is going to the profit, to the purpose. Look, and to the platform that I saw that I want to invest in. And so get your bank account. Stop playing. Don't ask those people to just send you Cash App. Look, and I'm about to drop some cash in your Cash App, but get you a bank account as a business owner. Get a check with your business name on it. Whatever you're calling your now and your next, get a check with that name on it. Right? Show these people that you mean business. Show up whole. Show up ready, because if you have a bank account, then look what happens. People can give you the funds to forge forward. So when people start saying, hey, how can I help you? Say, look, don't bite your tongue. I'm accepting cash. I'm accepting cash. I'm accepting conversation, but I would prefer cash. You can write the checks too. Cattle Corp, Inc., or whatever you want to call it. That's right. And so listen, you have to prepare yourself, right? If you want to go on platforms, if you want to operate in purpose and in profit, this is your preparation package, your domain name for your website. If you can build a website, GoDaddy has templates. Get that domain name. Go to the template, put your name and say coming soon until you're ready to build it, or spend some time trying to learn it. Look, people use what they have now until they can get what they want later. I used to jump on here on live and I used to have my cell phone propped up against a Diet Coke bottle. And that's how I used to do my Brave lessons. Now I got a light in front of me. You'll see how my husband tried to hook me up with this little backdrop, right? I got some little accessories in the back. I have a microphone now, right? I have this little digital board to help me with this streaming system. You use what you have back then until you can get what you want. I'm using whatever I can to forge forward. I don't do this for profit, but I do this for purpose. You have to use what's in your hand, right? You have to use what's in your hand to help push you forward for what God put in your heart. So good. Kayla says she's accepting cash for her birthday. Domain names. DBAs, registration with the state, EIN, and bank account. Before I go forward, anybody have a question about what we spoke about so far? Because this is conversation. I gave you guys a lot of information. I want to open up the floor before I keep going for community questions. Anybody have community questions? Community questions. Tanny, thank you for joining. Mark, I see you. Teresa, I see you. Colette, love the backdrop. Thank you so much. It's that blue. So anybody have any community questions? I'm going to keep going, and if I see a question, I'll just stop and ask and answer it. And so look, I'm giving you guys these things, right? Because it's important. So after you define your plan, you use that to define your people, your platform, and potential profit. Once you know what you're doing, you'll know where you're going and who you're doing it for. Listen, this is good right now. And so once you have your name for your now and your next, once you process your paperwork to prepare you for people that want to give you the funds to forge forward, right? You define your plan. Who is your plan for? Your people should be included in your plan. What platform am I going to position myself on to sell what I have or to promote myself? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Is it Snapchat? Who's my base? Snapchat is typically for a younger generation, teenagers. And so if that's who you're targeting, then that means that you need to run ads and do promotion on Snapchat. If you're looking for people that are over 35, you're going to use Facebook, because Facebook is housed with people of all ages, but the data suggests that people over the age of 35 are on Facebook, and people under 35 are more inclined to engage with you on Instagram because of the visuals, right? I'm providing you with good information right now. Or if you are completely focused on building business, you have to look at LinkedIn. When I talk about business and HR stuff, I am on LinkedIn doing it. I'm not doing it on Facebook because these jokers wouldn't understand what I'm saying. These jokers wouldn't care about what I'm saying. When I jump on here, it's because I know people want to hear conversation. They want to see cultivation. They want to hear about brave lessons. They don't want to hear about building people, processes, and systems. They want to hear what the platform prepared for them. So after you define your plan, define your people, your platform, and then your potential profit. Is this good or what? Right? Is this good or what? So now that we spoke about all those things, my next question for you is probably my next question that I have, and you're probably asking, well, how do I build blocks? This is how you build blocks. Your foundation. The bricks you build with can be a bridge, a barricade, or a bypass. That means what you use to get you from point A to point B can be a bridge for somebody else. It can be a barricade. You can stop them or try to stop them, or a bypass. It's an unusual route out. And so your foundation can be a bridge, a barricade, or a bypass. But when you're building legacy, you're building bridges, you're building bypasses, you're building opportunities that you can leave behind for your loved ones, right? And I'm going to break right there because I want you to drop your name. I want you to drop your business name, and I want you guys to get started and drop your Cash App as well, right? Because I told you guys I am investing again today. So your foundation can help you build bridges, barricades, or a bypass. It can help somebody grow and go. It can help somebody. It can hinder somebody if you don't want to share, or if your technique hasn't been tested and tried, or it can be a bypass. The way that you do things is not the way everybody else is going to do things, and we have to understand that. But if there's a method that you use as part of your mission and your mandate, right, you can share that with somebody and it becomes a bypass. A bypass is an unusual route. It's a route not frequently traveled. And so sometimes you have to take the route not frequently traveled. Listen, there were some guys that opened up a restaurant and they sold burgers and fries. They wanted to franchise and didn't have the experience to do it. They tried over and over and over again. And what happened is that when they realized they couldn't do it, they hired the man that had sold them a shake machine named Ray. And he was able to help them franchise the business. What happened is that they had reached the law of lid. There was a part of them that didn't know how to go up a little bit higher. So they brought somebody in to help them build a bypass, which is is an unusual route that the founders couldn't forge you forward, but they pulled somebody in that could help them. Today, that business is called McDonald's. It's okay to build a bypass. It's okay to take a different route out, right? And so that's your foundation. Your framework requires fight, fortitude, and freedom. Somebody write this. Say your framework requires fight, fortitude, and freedom. If you're going to build something and you have a foundation, you need a structure, which is your framework. And it requires fight, fortitude, and freedom before you even add your finances. You have to be willing to fight for what you want. You have to have the tenacity to push forward, and you have to be free. Free from opinion, free from people's comments, free from not faltering if you fail, but knowing that if you fall, that you're going to get back up and keep going again. Listen to what I'm telling you. Your framework requires fight, fortitude, and freedom. You can't forge forward and build legacy, build a block, or build anything if you don't have fight in you to keep going. If you don't have fortitude, right? If something knocks you down, you don't have the fortitude to get back up. You don't have the tenacity to put your hands up and jump inside the ring again. And you're not free from people's opinion. You're not free when somebody doesn't support you. You're not free from friends that turn their back on you. You're not free from family members who tell you that you're not going to make it. Before you build anything, you need fight, fortitude, and freedom. Listen, I've built 6 businesses. 6. Listen, 6. I failed so hard at 2, it didn't make sense. I squandered the money. I squandered the equipment. I didn't take myself seriously. I didn't have my finances together. And as soon as somebody said something, I just fainted and I tapped out. I tapped out because I didn't have the framework I needed for the foundation that had been built. And so there was nothing to keep me up. But after I experienced that, the next thing I built, I went in with fight. I had new boxing gloves. I went in with fortitude. I knew that if something happened, I wasn't going to stay on the ground. I was going to get back up and go forward. And I had freedom. I didn't care if them folks didn't like me. I didn't care if somebody wanted to leave me. I didn't care if they said I wasn't going to make it. It didn't matter. I was going to forge forward. Now look, let me walk y'all back. 6 businesses, 2 fails. Listen, y'all, I sold 2 for some cash. I got some money from 2 I sold, right? And I usually don't talk money online, but I was able to reap for my investment in a large way. But I want you guys to hear me. This last business I walked away from, I didn't know what I was doing next. God just told me to give it up. And I was discouraged because I was successful. It was successful. I was making money. I didn't understand why God said stop. He said stop and empower women. I said, you want me to start operating in purpose without no profit? That's not God. Listen, that can't be God asking me to operate in purpose and I don't make a profit anymore. Who gonna buy my stuff, right? We question the things that sometimes are put on our heart. But listen, I was obedient, but I went kicking and screaming. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I went kicking and screaming. At first, I didn't listen. I didn't obey. I was walking in disobedience and I was doing something as part of this business that I had always done and it wasn't working. I was in the middle of an azalea festival trying to cover a building for a set design and I couldn't do it. And I had done this before. And it was at that moment when God said, I told you to stop. My goodness. And so I gave up and I walked away. I walked away and I didn't know what was going to happen next. God said, do a workshop for women. I started doing workshops for women at my friend's venue that was lessons of leadership for powerful women who aspire to lead based on Dr. Seuss books. I wasn't talking Bible. I didn't know I had a voice. I did those events for a year and a half. Then I did my first conference. I probably had like 20 people in this conference, but I treated it like it was 1,000 people there. Listen to what I'm telling you. I had no idea that God was giving me my voice. He was restoring me back to what he had already called me to, that he had moved me in purpose and that the profit would come later. I want you to know that because I found fight and fortitude and freedom from people's opinion, because I was obedient, today I'm speaking on national platforms all over the United States, Mexico, and beyond. Mexico, St. Louis, Detroit, California. I'm flying out everywhere to speak on platforms. I was given this amazing opportunity, right, to to teach people and train, right? And it's what I was called to do. So I'm telling you that if the profit doesn't come right away and God is telling you to do something, operate in obedience, it'll come in due season, in Kairos time. It may not have been profitable before. I couldn't see the end result, but all I needed for my framework was fight, fortitude, and freedom. And because I had fight, fortitude, and freedom, the foundation was already built. I was able to forge forward. So I'm here today to tell you, look, I want you to put on your boxing gloves to keep going. I want you to fight for what's been put in your heart. I want you to fight for what's been put in your hand. I want you to find fortitude. I want you to find fortitude so if something knocks you down, you get back up and like, not today. I'm here. I'm forging forward. I believe in this thing. I believe in what I've been assigned. I believe in myself. I believe in the God that assigned me, and then find freedom. Don't care about them people. It doesn't matter what they say. I had folks tell me that if I stopped doing event and set design, I was going to fail. Thinking that I was going to be successful speaking and training people, I was wrong. And these were people that I was friends with. But I got three things to say. Look at me now. Come on, somebody. Y'all are going to have a look at me now moment where the people that didn't believe in you before are going to see you soar in your next and in your now. This is so good today. So your framework requires fight, fortitude, and freedom. I'm almost finished, y'all. Your flow will keep you connected, consistent, and committed. This is your plan in the in-between. When you shape your business and you're going from your business, right, and operating in your purpose to making profit, your flow will keep you connected. How do you go from point A to point B? What are you offering to get there? Are you creating classes? Are you having conversations? If you're not profiting because you are a ministry or a nonprofit, how do you get grants and funding to help you to continue to forge forward? Your flow will keep you connected, consistent, and committed. Connected to what you started with, your why, right? Consistent and running behind the vision and not shifting or changing up because of what you see somebody else doing, and committed to see it through because you're building legacy. Is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Connected to my why, consistent in the original vision. I'm going forward. I'm not going to change because of what I see somebody else doing, and committed to seeing it through. How many of you see people doing stuff and you're like, man, why can't I be like that? Let's keep it real. Why can't I be like that? Why can't I do that? Why them? Why not me? I've been there. But my flow will keep me connected, consistent, and committed. Who said something? Very good. This is good. Good. Finally, your finish. How you succeed is based on how you start. Oh my goodness. How you succeed is based on how you start. How you start a thing will determine how you end a thing. When you're building legacy, you're building so that you can leave something behind. When you start something, with God, when you start something that's in your hand and in your heart, when you start something with fight, fortitude, and freedom, right? It'll determine, right, how you succeed. It'll determine how you finish. What does that look like? Are you going to end in success? Are you going to end in profit? Are you going to end on purpose with pushing people? Are you going to end, by sustaining yourself on certain platforms and moving into spaces that you never thought that you can be? How you succeed is based on how you start. You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. Building legacy and building blocks. Blocks that people can build bridges with, not barricades, but bypasses. That's right, Teresa. How you succeed is based on how you start. So ask yourself right now, how will I begin? 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 I want you guys, everybody's watching. We got 22 people up here. I want you to begin to comment below and say, I will succeed. I want you to make that declaration right now out loud. I want you to write, I will succeed. I will succeed. You know what you're asking to succeed in. I want you to write, I will succeed. I will succeed. I need y'all to talk back to me today. I need you to say, I will succeed. Make that declaration, right? But believe in yourself and let the people know that's watching that know that you believe in yourself. Somebody go ahead and write, I will succeed. I'm gonna wait. I will succeed. I will succeed. I know that my finish is based on how I start. And because I'm starting right, I will succeed. I will succeed. That's right. Come on. Shaniqua said, I will succeed. Lashika said, I will succeed. That's right. Come on. Let it come out. I will succeed. You will succeed at your business. You will succeed in ministry. You will succeed in marketplace. You will succeed in whatever you put your hands to. How you succeed is based on how you start, right? You will succeed. That's right. You will succeed. You will succeed. Listen, I'm tired of people running around saying, I want to build something and I don't know how. And then everybody that knows how to build are like this. I need you to share some building blocks so that I know how to build too. Right? I will succeed. I will succeed. I will succeed. That's right. I will succeed. I will succeed. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you grow and go. I want to see you build legacy for yourself, for your family, for your children's children. We often build businesses with our now in mind, but we never look at our next. Listen, we build big businesses. We often build businesses, not everybody, but we often build a big business with now in mind, but not our next. We build a business that will sustain us for today and possibly tomorrow. But what about later? What about our children's children? Think about the sweat equity, the time investment that you're putting in. What am I building? Am I building for my right now? Am I building for a pretty backdrop? Some pretty earrings and cute shirts, or am I building legacy for my family, for my children's children? So if something happens, I can pivot, or I can create a nesting egg just in case, something occurs and my children will be okay and I'm not stressed. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not challenged. What am I building? What am I building? What am I building? What is it? Your foundation. The bricks you build can be a bridge, a barricade, or a bypass. Your framework requires fight, fortitude, and freedom. I think everybody here has it. Your flow is going to keep you connected, consistent, and committed to what you see, what you have in your hand and in your heart. And your finish. How you succeed is based on how you start. Listen, I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in what you're doing. I believe that you're going to be successful. I believe that that there's something else that needs to come out of you. And sometimes we don't do it the right way because we don't know. We don't understand getting a domain and a DBA, registering with the state, getting the EIN. We don't understand that building legacy also means following the rules. I just said something, right? Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so look, I want you to drop your Cash App right now, because I told you guys that every week I was going to sow. It's not a whole bunch. It's just what God put in my heart to sow into somebody. Last week, Tish Bell was up here and we sowed into 3 people. Apostle Kim Benoit, we sold into her. We sold into Aisha's bunting cakes, and we sold into I think Rochelle Fields, who was up here watching Occur Productions. And so today it may be you, drop your Cash App. And also after I choose somebody to Cash App, I'm going to Cash App while I'm on screen. I have some friends locally who opened up a new African and Caribbean market here in Wilmington, North Carolina. They built a business, right, that's going to build legacy for their family. It's opened up on Oleander. Today's their grand opening. I'll be live from there today, but I'm also going to drop, I'm also going to give somebody else watching here gift cards to come shop, two $25 gift cards to come shop at the new African and Caribbean market owned by Felix and Tammy Emeka here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And so today I'm dropping that Cash App and 2 gift cards to come use in their market. And after I jump off here, I'll be live from there talking with Tammy so that you guys can see what it looks like to build legacy, right? Not just for your now, but for your next. So drop your Cash App. Drop your Cash App. Come on, guys. Keep dropping your Cash App. Keep dropping your Cash App. Keep dropping your Cash App. Drop your Cash App. Because, somebody, I want to sow into somebody. And look, I have people messaging me, asking me, teach this class out loud, do a more in-depth class. And so I used to do classes, catalyst classes for women in business. And I just don't have the time right now, but I will later on this year. But I'll be able to provide tips and tools like this through coffee and community conversation, whenever I'm led. This is the second week for economics and entrepreneurship. Next week, we resume with hood money. I'm going to talk about that topic, about how come we don't build in inner city communities? How come we don't build in Black communities and everybody else does? What does that look like? I want to talk about hood money. I want to know how we take the block, how we build the block, how we shift things, right? And so Shaniqua, Sal, and so if you are the winner of the Cash App, I want you to say, I want you to just jump on screen and say that I got the money. It was me. I see you. I see who God just put on my heart. Okay, so if you got that Cash App, I want you to say it's me. I want you to say it's me. And so I gave away the Cash App. The person who got it is still on, hopefully. And I want you to just jump on here and post a comment and say, I won the Cash App. And the 2 gift cards for the African and Caribbean market is going to, give me 1 second. Let me see, African, Caribbean market and more. Okay, and it is on let me put the address up here for you guys. It's 4209 Oleander Drive in Wilmington, North Carolina. So that's the address to the African Caribbean market. It's me. That's right. She could just said it's me. She could just drop some got some cash dropped into her Cash App. Congratulations, Lashikia. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, please say you got it all wrong, girl. Congratulations on getting that Cash App for the 2 gift cards to the African Caribbean market. Those are going to Christy Washington and Shaniqua Marshall. Congratulations, guys, on a $25 gift card to the African Caribbean market. I hope you cook, because that's what's going to be in there. It'll be at the cash register. You just ask them for it. I'm on my way there. I'll be there later today, but they're selling spices and the different items that you can use to cook with. And we just want to support and celebrate them as they're building their legacy. And I want to thank you guys for joining me today for Coffee and Community Conversation with PKO. We do this every week on Saturday, typically at 10 a.m. Listen to what I'm telling you. Like, there is information and resources available to you. And I'm happy that you took time to join me today. I hope you benefited from it. I hope that you grew from it. I hope that you got some tips that you can use to help you build legacy, so that you can build blocks to share with people. If there's information that you obtain from here and you know somebody building a business, I want you to share it with them. I want you to tell them that they can make it, that they can succeed. I want you to tell them that they can forge forward. I want you to tell them that that better is possible. I want you to tell them that riches is in their hand. You know, the Bible says that Jesus not only came so we would have life, but life in its abundance, right? He owns 1,000 cattle on the hill. The streets are paved with gold. We have access to heaven's resources. We have access to resources that we don't even tap into, or we don't allow to work through us or in our hands. And so I want to encourage you today to invest in what's been put in your heart and in your hand. Don't think that you have to do a whole bunch of stuff to get started. Get started now. If you're ready to get started, say, I'm about to get started. I'm about to get started. I'm about to get started. If you're going to get started, if you have a business, say, I'm about to get started. I'm about to get started. I'm about to get started. This is you. I am about to get started. I'm about to get started. I have to make bold declarations out loud and say, you know what, God, I am successful. Success is my story. You've given me everything I need. I am powerful, right? I am free, right? I do have fight. I do have fortitude. I do have everything I need to forge forward, right? I can move forward. I don't have to worry about people's opinion. It doesn't matter if I fail or falter. I can get back up and keep going, right? I'm about to get started. Something is shifting in my life. Something is changing, right? There's plenty, right? There's profit and purpose coming. My pain is going to be translated, right? God is going to use my testimony, right, to help build tenacity in the lives of people. And so while I'm about his business, he's going to be about my business. He's taking care of things, right, in my life. I am the solution to somebody's prayers, right? Somebody's been praying for what I have in my hand and in my heart. Somebody's been waiting for me to come forth and to come forward to produce what I have, to produce my product, to produce my makeup, to produce my food, to produce my writings, whatever it is. Somebody's been waiting for what you have to come out. Somebody's been waiting for you to be a producer, for you to finally release, right, the ideas, the concepts, right? Somebody's been waiting for you to do it. Don't hide. Don't hide. Don't think that what you have is not important. Because remember, somebody needs what you have. And so look, I'm going to close with this. As you begin to write, I'm about to get started, or I will succeed, right? When you begin to make announcements like that into the atmosphere, when you determine that you have fight and fortitude for your framework, right? And you're free from people's opinions and circumstances, this becomes a press release of your release. This is a press release of your release. I'm making a declaration and then a clarion call out loud today that everybody that's watching here is being released to entrepreneurship, is being released to new levels, is being released into new atmospheres, is being released into new platforms, is being released into purpose, is being released to new levels of profit. It's okay to speak about it. You're being released from thinking that you only can serve in ministry and not realizing that you may be called to the marketplace. This is a press release of your release. This is your announcement. This is your announcement. Today you are announcing that you are being released into new levels, new languages, new circumstances, new situations. Who is this for today? Who is this for today? Who understands this is a press release of your release? And because I'm telling you, I receive it for myself. I'm called to nations and I'm going to nations. I'm impacting them already, and so are you, right? I'm making a press release of my release to new platforms and positions and power. I'm making a press release of my release to new levels and languages, right? God is going to use me in new places and new situations. I'm producing new products. Whatever I thought that I can do is being expanded to even do more. There's innovation and creativity coming to me. We often look at favor is money, but Noah had information. I'll never forget Pastor Micah said that. He said favor is sometimes information. Noah was the only one that knew that the plans to build the ark. He had to bring people in as he was assigned. Sometimes information, ideas, and innovation is favor. What's in here? What were you given? Because whatever you were given is what you're supposed to use. This is your press release of your release. I'm being released into entrepreneurship. I'm being released into marketplace. I'm being released into ministry. I'm being released into new levels, new languages. I'm being released in an expansion of my territory. I'm being released into new profit margins. I'm being released into new platforms and positions. I'm being released. I am being released. I am being released. Somebody, they don't have to know my name, but they're going to feel my impact. I'm being released. This is a press release of your release. A press release goes out as an announcement about something that's happening, an announcement about something that occurred, an announcement about a product that's being released, an announcement about an acquisition by a business, an announcement about somebody purchasing and buying something big. This is big. This is a press release of your release. I need you to write this right now before we go. Say, I've been released I've been released. I've been released. I'm being released into new levels. I've been released into new languages. I'm being released. Somebody write, I have been released into new levels. And we're going to go. I've been released into new levels. This is your press release of your release. Make the announcements. Let somebody know that you're not the same, that you're not the same person you were when you woke up. You got tips. You got strategies. You found your fight, your fortitude, and your freedom. You put the gloves back on. You're ready to keep going right now. And you are free. You don't care what your cousins and your comrades and them people think. You don't care if somebody told you you're not going to make it. You don't care if folks don't support you because you believe. This is the release of my release into new levels. I'm making an announcement, a bold declaration. Look at me now. Come on, somebody. Somebody say, I am being released. Look at me now into new levels. Come on, somebody. Look, if you don't say it for yourself, nobody's going to say it for you. If you don't make your own declaration, them folks that you're waiting, oh my goodness, I felt that. The people that you're waiting to confirm you won't do it. Stop waiting for people to confirm what's already been completed. You've been released into new levels. You've been released into new levels. You've been released into new levels. Don't wait for people to confirm what's already been completed. Remember, how you finish is how you start. You just got started. You just got started with bold declarations. You know that you're going to new levels. New platforms. And with new platforms come new power. Come on, somebody. New levels. I'm being released into new levels. I don't have to wait for them to confirm me because God already completed it. This is a press release of my release. You want to know what they're talking about in the papers? They're talking about what's happening in me. I've been released into new levels. This is your day. This is your day. Ebony said, I've been one that waited for people to confirm. Stop it. God completed it. It's done. It's done. You just made the declaration. You said, I will succeed. You said I'm about to get started, and then you said I've been released to new levels. You just made a declaration about who you are, where you are, and where you're going to go. Building legacy and building blocks. I'm not building just for now. I'm building for my next. I'm building to leave something behind. And what I learned, the language I have and how I'm led in, I can use those blocks to build, my goodness, to build bridges for other people to cross, not barricades, but bypasses, because I may take an unusual route just because of who I am and who I serve. I'm building legacy. Listen. Thank you so much for joining me today for Coffee and Community Conversation. My name is Pastor Kalila Alokanola. I want to thank those of you who have watched. I want to congratulate the Cash App winners and the gift card winners for joining me and for watching, for getting that seed thrown on the inside of you. I pray that seed is on assignment, that it would triple, it would maximize you in areas of your life that you didn't think the seed would. And I pray, right, for your success in building the legacy that you've been assigned, that today you would stay on the level that you've been released in, and that you would keep going. Nothing would stop you. Nothing would hinder you. Nothing would discourage you. Nothing would try to deter you, damage, or dismantle you, because you are called to destiny. Your ideas, your innovation, your circumstances, your products, your platforms, your testimony, your voice are all things that people have prayed for. And this is your season, not just to walk in purpose, but for you to walk in a place of profit. God wants to use you, right? But the marketplace also needs you to move forward. Was this good today? I want to thank you guys for joining me. Pastor Kalila Lokanola, I love being here with you guys. I love talking to you. I love having coffee and community conversation. I'll be back live from the African and Caribbean market at 4209 Oleander Drive. Remember, if you didn't win the gift card, you can still show up there and support them. This is a family, the Emekas, who have built this store for a need that they see in the community, for people that come from other cultures who want to cook and need supplies that they travel for, but they didn't just build for their now, they're building for their next. This is legacy business, and it takes all of us to support it in the process. Let's support them, because we want other people to support to support us. So I want to thank you for watching. Join me next week, Coffee and Community Conversations at 10 a.m. I'll have an army of guest speakers on, continuing with economic and entrepreneurship. We're talking about hood money, and we're going to talk about the businesses that have been built in the inner city compared to the businesses that have been built outside. We're going to talk about funding and finances and how you get investments. I'm dropping an ebook for you guys to take a peek at that has all the information about people that you can get grants and funding for money. And look, I'm dropping some cash in somebody's Cash App again. So join me, invite a friend who needs to hear economics and entrepreneurship. And don't forget, Monday at 8 p.m., I'm live for Brave Lessons. I'm preaching, I'm shouting, I'm sweating, and I'm spitting. If you want a word from the Lord, then join me on there. Thank you guys so much for watching me today. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your encouragement. I appreciate the comments that you guys gave today. I'm excited. I'm encouraged. And because of that, I'm going to keep going. You are blessed. You are powerful. You are brave. Have an amazing day. And so today's community conversation was just not about how you transition, into phase 2 for COVID-19, but understanding that whether it's good or bad, whether you say yes or no, whether you go or you stay still, it causes a ripple effect in your life.